Hi everyone, I hope that you're fine. In this video I'm going to show you how to simplify in watercolor, and in order to do that I'm going to show you how I painted this watercolor street, and by doing that I realized that I was able to simplify this watercolor. It's not perfect, but I ended up grasping three main concepts that I now use in all my watercolor paintings in order to simplify. So, when I looked at this photo that I painted during the pandemic, it was in 2020, so it was several years ago, I realized that it was much more complicated than I thought, because I got bogged down into all the details, like, oh, how am I going to paint this tree? And here is the sun. How I'm going to create the lights coming from this place until this place. And then how am I going to paint this huge shadow and all those trees and all those houses and also the cars here, the cars. It was so complicated for me that I gave it a first try and I ended up with this painting. And this painting, it was, wow, it was terrible for me. It looked so awful because I realized that my painting here on the shadow, it's not, there is no depth in this shadow. All the plants here, the trees, it's not, for me it doesn't mean anything. It's just some colors on the paper, and the cars are okay, all right, but they are so included into all those complicated stuff around them that they don't pop out. So when I realized that, I told myself that I couldn't let it this way. So I decided to give it another try. And then I came up with this painting. And it was much better from my point of view. And also I managed to paint this watercolor in 20 minutes, something like that. So it was really fast compared to this one. This one, I spent maybe 1 or 2 hours on this painting. It was a mess in the end. And this one, it took 3 less time than the previous one. And for me, it's much better. We can see the light here with the shadows and the car. Now the cars pop out in this painting, and we can clearly see the houses, the trees. So it's much better than the previous painting. And when I realized that, I came out to the conclusion that, okay, I think that there is a way to simplify things, because here I got bogged down into the details, and here I managed to simplify this photo. And what helped me simplify this photo is the first point, that you just have to give it another try. Your first shot is just a shot. It doesn't mean that it has to be the final painting, it has to be the end product of your creative process. Thing is that oftentimes the first try is not the best shot, and it's fine. And when I saw that, I realized that there were so many paintings where I didn't even give another try. And for this painting, I realized that it was the best solution for me to do. Don't stick to the first try, because sometimes if you are not happy with this one, you just have to give it another shot and it's fine. And the second point is that if you want to simplify, you can give yourself some time constraint. What I mean by that, this is the video I shot of my painting studio, and here you can see how much time does this video last. It lasts less than 20 minutes, 19 minutes actually. How did I come up being so fast with this painting here? It's because I was so angry with the first shot that I wanted to do another test, but this had to be very quick. And also the second thing is that I had to go. I had an appointment somewhere in Paris. I couldn't spend 1 hour more on this painting, so giving you time constraints, it's a very good way to force you to simplify things, because by doing that you will make some choices in order to paint much quicker, much faster. And here you can see the first wash was done in 3 minutes and a half. It's nothing. And then I added some details, the houses, the cars, and so on. And in the end, yeah, it lasted, yeah, 18 minutes actually, 18 minutes, because at 18 minutes I started to remove the tape from the watercolor paper. So this is the second point, give yourself some time constraints. And the third point here is to try new things. Because if you look at the photo here, we have so much stuff here. If you look at the photo, it's very dark actually. And I didn't see myself painting this watercolor street with this darkness. So this is why I decided, no, I want it to be very easy to paint. So I'm going to do a graded wash. And then I came up with this painting. So you can see that this painting is much brighter, but it's because I made some choices in order to make the painting process much faster and also much easier for me. So don't hesitate to try new things that will fit your ability to execute the painting much faster, because then you will come up with solutions that are very innovative. So if you want to simplify in watercolor, don't hesitate to give it another try, because by doing the first shot, you will realize, oh, the cars, they are too complicated. The trees, they should be higher than before. And by doing this process of thinking through the first shot, you will come up with new ways to make the second shot. Then give yourself some time constraints. Sometimes it comes down to external factor where you have an appointment, for example, but sometimes you can just give it a try to make it less than 30 minutes or less than an hour. If you are used, for example, to make a painting in 1 hour or 2 hours, maybe you could try to make it half the time. So for me, it's a very good way to force you to simplify things. And the last point is try new things. Don't hesitate to delete one part of the painting or to reframe the painting. Try new things in order to simplify and to make the painting much easier than it is. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to improve in your watercolor painting, you have a link in the description below. Thank you and bye-bye.